For all of the people who have their questions, they're definitely going to be answered going further into season two.
Hey there, it's Kristen, and today we are chatting with the cast and creatives of Secrets of Sulphur Springs Season 2. Enjoy! Secrets of Sulphur Springs is my favorite show that me and my dad watch together. We just have so much fun with it, and we love the time travel, how everything really connects in the series. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What can you tell us a little bit about season 2?
Season 2, a lot's happening. You're going to get a lot of answers to things that we left hanging in season 1 right away, which will hopefully make viewers happy. And then we're going to kick off some new mysteries. You're going to learn about the history of the Tremont and how it ties to Harper and why she's been so connected to it. You're also going to get a little romance this season.
Season 2 is about Harper, right? And she goes back in time to the 30s and meets her her old family and her ancestors and everything. So we get to see what Harper's past was kind of like. And then Elle over here, she's living in the 60s. She's got her storyline going. And then Griffin's got his current time. And they're still working on the Tremont, trying to open it, while all of us are trying to solve mysteries.
All of us are a little bit older now, not too much. I mean, I started this series when I was 9 and I'm 12 and a half now. So of course I am a little bit older. All of us grew, but we grew at the same rate. So if we were like this before, then we're like this now. It's like we grew together.
For all of the people who have their questions, they're definitely going to be answered going further into season 2.
What I find so fascinating is the way that you guys are able to just build this story and have everything connect. And I'm curious, because you both have done expansive work in soap operas, if any of that has informed how you bring together Secrets of Sulphur Springs.
Soap operas are a wonderful storytelling tool because they evolve. Everything, whatever happens in episode 1 is reflected in episode 2, and if people can change, they can fall in love, they can fall out of love, and viewers become very attached to them. So that was our goal. We go, well, we don't have as many episodes as you do on a daytime soap or even a primetime soap. So we've got to make them fall in love and relate to these characters even quicker. And the best way to do that is with, relatable stories, and then a mix or a blend of different genres, which is the only way to do, I think, any television show now. So we mix, a ghost story with, a relevant story about segregation in 1930, plus the fantasy of time travel, and then the twinkling of first love, which is something everybody relates to. Kids remember, maybe they haven't had their first love, like some of our actors, or adults remember that first love, and can get in touch with those feelings.
A lot of the actors are starting to play multiple characters, down their family lines and things like that. So how do you differentiate the characters that they started as versus these new characters that they're playing?
Long talks with the actors about subtle differences that you can do. Also, it helps that they're in different time periods. So slang that you would use in the present, you're not using in 1930. Mannerisms. We were toying with things like, does she have an accent? Does she not have an accent? And I think
wear glasses. Does she not wear
glasses, not glasses. I think Kylie did a phenomenal job playing both parts and really doing subtle differences. But you could always tell which character she was playing.
For me, it was on the easier side because I love a good challenge, and Daisy was just so much fun to play. I did a good amount of research on how Daisy would act since she grew up in the 1930s, what her mannerisms would be, and how she'd speak, especially growing up, in Louisiana in the 1930s. So I incorporated the directors and the writers' thoughts and what they wanted to see, as well as my own personal choices. And of course, I already knew Harper and loved her so much.
She said to me once that, when I'm playing one character, I have to get them into my head. Once they're in my head, then I'm them. And then she says, and the hardest scenes always were her when she was playing with herself, because, there would be a wardrobe change and something, but it was, within an hour to switch back and forth that quickly and do the scene that many times, because she's got to do it from both points of view, and sometimes a 50-50. So it's an exhausting process for an actor, and she I don't know how she did it, but she did it, and so, as Tracy said, very subtly, and I think that was the key to it. They each fall in love with each other's parents, which is the father that one never had and the mother the other one never had, or they lost at a young age. That concept or theme was gold for us. It really worked.
One of the things that I just love about this show is also just how like everything is really connected. Does it ever get complicated? And like, what are some of the more fun or even more challenging moments of being on set?
It gets a little confusing with Harper and Daisy because, I mean, both of them are played by Kylie. So when I'm explaining something, you know, I'll sometimes say like, oh, Daisy was stuck in the past and Harper's with me. But that's how it was. I got to switch it. And it gets really confusing.
There's a lot, I think, of emotional scenes this season, especially with two characters who have both lost a parent. Daisy goes through a lot. I mean, she's taken out of her home and she has to deal with, you know, being in a completely new era. So seeing her struggles and her trauma with that, I think really makes you sympathize for her. As well as Harper, learning about her family's past and the Tremont's past and all that's happened to her family. I think we start to really sympathize with all the characters, the Tremonts and the Dunns, and I'm just excited for people to see our characters grow.
I like following along with the confusion because once it does start to connect, it's like one of those big like investigation bulletin boards with like the red strings, and it'll be like, oh, that's how that connects. So it all kind of leads up to the same place and solves the same mystery. But I personally love the adventure and I love the confusion.
You're going to the 30s, you're going to the 60s, you're in modern day. What is your favorite time period to be in on the show?
My favorite time period to film in, I'd say, is the 60s because of all the cool sets and all the cool cars. And usually when I'm in the 60s, I get to film outside, which is always fun, but I don't like to film in the woods, which a lot of the times when I film in the woods, I'm in the 1930s. I love the set for the 1930s, but at the same time, the woods in New Orleans during summer is hot, roasting, and sweaty and buggy.
I liked going out like on spot instead of in the stages. I liked going outside in the woods, on the house, everything, because it felt more real when you're there. And I like the woods. There's like 14,000 mosquitoes constantly.
We got so many mosquito bites.
Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out the exclusive Discord available on my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!